1, 2, 3.
Hello everyone, I am Be Better Gamer and welcome to Be Better Gamer Wrestling, the channel dedicated to wrestling video games fueled by my love, passion, and obsession with them. Thank you so much on clicking this video. It's been a while since I made one of these, but I'm bringing you another WWF No Mercy CAW. I'm surprised it's taken me this long to get around to him, but I am going to be creating John Cena. John Cena helped usher in the ruthless aggression era, and obviously No Mercy is all attitude era, but John Cena still fits in this game. And of course, you know, you can't talk about WWE these days or for, you know, the past couple of decades without talking about John Cena. Make sure you check the description below. Everything, moves, appearance, fighting style, parameters, all that stuff is in a spreadsheet. Link is in the description, so be sure to check that. But first, we're going to go over his appearance. Once again, this is in the vanilla version of No Mercy, no mods or anything like that, making it like it's 2000 all over again in N64 version of this game. So we're going to start with body, medium 1, skin tone 2, head, male 1, and your John Cena, I'm just gonna put it out there, your John Cena might look like mine because, you know, there's not really much going on. I went with male 12 for the face, male 12 with the face, but his outfit is pretty generic, you know what I mean? Hair shaved, and then, you know, went with the black hair color, even though I feel like John Cena is more naturally a darker brown, but you know, I think black looks a little bit better in the game. Ring attire, cut jeans 1. I went with just a regular denim color and then white for the button, but it really doesn't matter what color you choose for that. Upper body, I went with the armbands. Even though he only wears one, we can only get the double armbands, and I went with the red color for the first outfit. Wristband, I went with HBK DX because it looks like it has the writing on it, even though it's very clearly the HBK DX wristband. But from afar, it looks like, you know, maybe he's wearing the, you know, you can't see me writing on his wristbands. Now for knee pads, I went with knee pad 2, even though they're not the correct knee pads, because John Cena, as I'm showing you here, he always wears knee pads that look like knee pad 1, which have the openings behind it. But look how there's like a space between the knee pad and the jeans. I don't like that. That bugs me. So I went with knee pad 2. You can go with knee pad 1 if you want. And then for feet, athletic 2, and first color black, second color default, which is white. You can change this around to whatever sneakers, you know, John Cena was wearing for whatever match you want to recreate. You'll see in the second outfit I do change the color type, but for the most part I leave them black and white. But John Cena, you know, he doesn't wear traditional wrestling boots, he wears sneakers when he wrestles. Like I said, this is a very sort of generic outfit, but it still kind of looks like him because it's John Cena. He's known for just wearing baggy shorts as his wrestling attire. Here you can switch it up, give him black jeans, and this is sort of slightly modeled after his triple threat Royal Rumble appearance against Rollins and, I almost said Batista, Brock Lesnar. I was thinking about Batista for something I'm going to talk about later. I went with the light blue variant. Obviously that's what he wore during the match, but you can also go with regular blue. He's worn both. And, you know, same thing with the HBK DX, you know, wristbands. You can go with light blue. And here, see, I went with the light green and black sneaker color combo, which is what he wore for that match. But again, you can do black and white. You can do baby blue, you know, light blue and black. You can do whatever you want. Mix and match, and you only have like 3 colors to deal with when it comes with John Cena. You have his armbands, his wristbands, and his shoes. So go crazy with the colors. You know, John Cena, he comes in a variety of different colors. Here I went with the green. You know, you've seen him wear green in the past. And here I kind of messed up. I realized that I have the armbands as dark green or regular green, and then I was like, let me put them light green. And same thing with the wristbands. I noticed that the wristbands were light green. I'm like, I'm gonna put them a regular green, and then I'm like, wait a minute, no, I think I like the light green look better, so I'm gonna make it light green. Again, this is really all that you have to deal with when you're making John Cena. The armbands, the wristbands, and the sneakers, because he's just wearing jeans and knee pads. So your John Cena probably already looks like mine. Same thing with the feet. You can put black and green if you want, but I didn't want to repeat the color. And then here I went with the orange because, you know, I like John Cena when he wears the orange and blue. I think that's my favorite color combination, color scheme of John Cena. For the fourth outfit in WWF No Mercy, I kept it orange, but a lot of people, and you see it in the game, a lot of times the fourth outfit is a non-wrestling outfit, maybe something they wear to the ring. So for John Cena, he wears his shirts. I figured you can do the Attitude shirt for the upper body, and this is where you can go crazy with the colors. You can do orange and blue, or blue and orange. You can do red and blue, green and yellow, yellow and purple, all the different. I don't know, is there a website that keeps track of how many shirts John Cena has had over the years? He's had 1 million of them. So whatever your favorite color combination of shirt is for John Cena, go with it. It could be the fourth attire, it could be the first attire, it could be all the attires. And then also what you can also do is put the Austin cap and have it be the same color scheme as whatever the shirt is. So I'm showing you that right now. Actually, I'm going to show the hat, and then let's go back to the shirt, the Attitude shirt, in place for his, you can't see me kind of shirt, rise, hustle, loyalty, respect shirt, whatever catchphrase he has on it. And there you go, and it looks pretty neat actually when you have it all together. But me, I am a weirdo. I only like wrestling outfits primarily for my cause, unless they are known to accompany a wrestler. And John Cena, he always usually comes out by himself. He's never really usually a second for anyone. There you go. That's my John Cena. Pretty basic, but I think it still comes alive with the moveset. And when you're playing him in the game, check the description down below for the full CAW. Like all my CAW videos, I have everything typed out in a spreadsheet, and you can find a link to that spreadsheet in the description below. It's a Google Docs spreadsheet. And now I'm going to play a match against the Undertaker, and talk a little bit about my feelings, if you will, about John Cena, about this CAW, about John Cena in professional wrestling. He's been around for a long time, and it's crazy to think about because he started wrestling right, a little bit after this game. No, a little bit before, because technically he started wrestling in '99 on the indie scene. He was only on the indie scene very briefly, but he made his professional wrestling debut in 1999. WrestleMania 2000 came out. WWF No Mercy came out in 2000. So it's crazy. John Cena's career is as long as WWF No Mercy has been in existence. Which I think helps, really. I think it helps with making a CAW with him in this one. Obviously, he does the Attitude Adjustment, which is a fireman's carry over a slam. They don't really have that in the game, but a good substitution, you'll see me do it a few times in this match, is the DVD. So I gave them that as his finisher. There's a few other things you can do with his moveset. He's got a lot of power moves. The running shoulder tackle that sets up into his backdrop, into the you can't see me punch. You can kind of recreate that. You'll see me do it later on in the match. But it's funny, I'm facing the Undertaker here. Obviously, a lot of story there with Cena and the Undertaker. His rivalry with Edge, his history with Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, The Rock even. It was so good they had to do it twice, the once-in-a-lifetime match with him and The Rock. You can recreate all those matches in No Mercy. It's funny how many people that John Cena has competed with over the years are still in WWF No Mercy. But when I think about John Cena, I kind of always think about seeing him in this documentary that came out before he made his appearance in WWE. It was called Inside Pro Wrestling, and it was a documentary featured on the Discovery Channel, I think sometime around in the year 2000. And it focused on this California-based indie promotion called UPW. And John Cena's in it with a bunch of other hopefuls, a bunch of other up-and-comers training to be professional wrestlers. And this is like early days. He's been in the wrestling business for a year. He's got this like blonde crew cut, buzz cut. He's in fantastic shape because he comes from a bodybuilding background. They even show some clips of his bodybuilding background. Definitely a standout in the class of wrestlers. They're highlighting. Oh, I get some color there. I get some blood from The Undertaker. He's not going to go down without a fight. This ain't no squash match happening right now. And I remember, because this was like 2000, right? So I was consuming anything and everything pro wrestling related. So I watched this documentary, and I even remember thinking, wow, this prototype, because that was the gimmick he was working on. He was called the Prototype, really stands out. And, there's even a moment in the documentary where they're all doing promos, like, in this room, and he does this promo as a prototype, and even the room of wrestlers are just like, wow, that was really good. This guy's really good. you know. And later on in the documentary, Bruce Pritchard shows up and he's scouting. He's scouting for WWE, and the documentary is talking about how wrestlers, they gotta perform, and when someone's in the audience scouting them for WWE, it's a big deal, yada yada yada. But he ends up getting a contract. They even mentioned that he gets a contract, offer from WWE to go train. If you listen to Jim Ross' podcast, he talks about it so much. The legendary OVW class of Batista, Lesnar, Cena, Orton, and Shelton Benjamin being signed to OVW all at the same time and graduating from that class. And you could see it. You could see it in the documentary. And I remember when John Cena came out against Kurt Angle, on that fateful episode of SmackDown, June 27th, 2002, I remember thinking, hey, that's the prototype. I saw that random documentary. And that's always how I've kind of viewed Cena. I've seen Cena. I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I've been watching wrestling, close to 30 years now. I've seen Cena from being this side, this one of these hopefuls in a documentary grow to become one of the, arguably best in the business, and to have the legacy he's had. It's kind of crazy, but I never forget, I saw him, he was a prototype, and then, I watched him, turn into the Thugonomics character, and I thought that was very interesting. When he actually was becoming WWE champion, that when he had that run from, let's say, 2008 to 2010, I was keeping an eye on wrestling at the time, but I was so busy in my personal life that I fell behind a little bit. When I left New York City and I moved to Buffalo, around 2011, they had a pay-per-view. They had the Night of Champions pay-per-view at the then First Niagara Center. It's now called the KeyBank Center. It used to be called the Marine Midland Arena. That's where Mark Henry won the World Championship from Orton that night. I was very excited. But it was also 2 months after the infamous Money in the Bank match between Cena and CM Punk, probably one of John Cena's greatest matches he's ever been in. And Cena faced Alberto Del Rio for some reason, because they threw in Del Rio after that whole pipe bomb scenario story, and they included Del Rio for the Money in the Bank. Remember that? Remember how they just went in a whole other direction when you had this great story between Cena and CM Punk? But Cena won his 10th WWE Championship that night against Del Rio, and Punk faced Triple H. And in the beginning, I remember when I got there, I got in my seat, and they were doing a highlight package of Cena and everything that happened in the Money in the Bank, and him and Alberto Del Rio. And every time Cena came on the screen, people were booing, oh, boo, Cena sucks. So I remember, I had just started getting back into WWE. I knew CM Punk from Ring of Honor time, so I was very happy to see him in the position he was in. So I was like, oh, yeah, Cena sucks, and this kid, this little boy, I don't know how old he was, turns around and he looks at me and he goes, Cena doesn't suck. And I was like, oh no, he doesn't suck. You're right, little kid. And I remember feeling so ashamed because it was the first wrestling, live wrestling event I had been to in years. And I used to go to indie shows in New York City. I went to ECW shows. I went to shows where all you did was just scream and heckle and yell. And then here I was, flash forward a few years later, I'm older, I'm an adult, I got kids, and I'm yelling Cena sucks, and this little kid turns around, he's like, hey, stop that. And I'm like, you're right, he doesn't suck. It's and it really made me sort of actually watch a lot of Cena stuff that I had missed, because I was just going along with the crowd. Really, I was. I remember Cena from the Thugonomics days and his early days, but I kind of missed his, becoming John Cena. And again, this is 2011. We still have a whole decade almost now, right? We're in 2020. That's 9 years of Cena to do so much more stuff after that. And look, he's not my favorite wrestler, right? He's not someone I'm going to go out of my way to watch. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch a John Cena match, really. But I do appreciate the quality of work he's had over his career. And he has had some memorable moments. I mean, his match against Punk, infamous. His matches against Edge. His match against Bryan at SummerSlam 13, I love. him against Rollins and Lesnar, like I mentioned early on. When he was the U.S. champ, doing all the open challenges, that was great. His matches against AJ Styles, I love his match against Umaga, as divisive as that is. His match against Owens. John Cena, to me, when you think about WWE, you do think about John Cena. At least I do. But I always think about also John Cena as the prototype, which is kind of funny. It's the same way I think about CM Punk. When I think about CM Punk, I think about him in Ring of Honor. When I think about Daniel Bryan, I think about Bryan Danielson. You know what I mean? So when I think about Edge, I think about Edge and Christian. The 5-second poses. So he's this weird sort of bridge from the older wrestling fan in me to the later wrestling fan in me, because as I grew up in the 20 years of being a wrestling fan, John Cena grew into John Cena. And, we all talk about him. We're all waiting to see what he's going to do at WrestleMania, if he's going to show up this year. Hopefully it's not another squash match against The Undertaker. I really wish he retired Angle last year. I thought that was a missed opportunity. But hopefully they have something special in store for him for WrestleMania, because it doesn't feel the same without John Cena, as weird as that sounds. You know what I mean? I know we all talk about someone like The Undertaker being a staple, but it would be weird to have a WrestleMania without John Cena. Like last year, it would be weird to do it again. So we'll see what the future is in store for John Cena. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much. Let me know what you think of this CAW. I have many more CAWs planned. You know what to do. You've been on YouTube before. And until next time, I'm Be Better Gamer. Keep watching all the wrestling. Thank you.